Alrighty, boat project, final days. I've decided to go back with my old trolling motor. This is a Minn Kota Enduro 40 pound thrust, which done me a good job for a long time. It's a good motor. Cleaned up the mount, which I'm past the point of worrying about anything being pretty. So get everything functioning. I can always add back 2 things later. Now the other trolling motor, that foot control, I still could not get a spot to put it where it's not going to be all up in my way. And if I'm over here standing up fighting a fish or a snake or an alligator or whatever comes up, if I need to bump that trolling motor, I don't want to have to come all the way back over here, get my foot up on that contraption and move it. So I've got a long extension for the handle, which is the same one I used on the other boat, and what is called a big foot or hot foot. I'll mount that right in the middle of this hatch here, and I can still open and close it without no problem. All I have to do is just touch that, and I can move it. Just touch it, and I can control it with my hand instead of my foot. Now the other one, the foot control, I will absolutely keep that. If this one ever goes out, I can take it off. There is a way to take them off with the foot control and make a hand control out of them. So I've got that, and I've also got a motor guide set up just like this one. So I'm good on trolling motors for a good while, I do believe. But I trust this one, so that's what we're going with. Now I've got to tape up these connections. Then I'm going to take the panel off here, start tying these wires up with some cable ties, getting everything nice and neat. And what else am I going to do up front here? I may go ahead and mount my front light. I don't think I'm going to put both of them up here. I think I'm just going to put one. Put one up here and one in the back. Because there are times you have to do stuff at nighttime in the back of the boat. And if you forget your headlamp, like I do a lot, flashlights ain't real handy. Plus they're not bright enough. Put one of them lights here, one back there, and I can light the river up. But the wire's already run, switch is already there, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right quick, I think. Then I'll start buttoning up all these wires. And we're getting close. We're getting close. Very, very close. And guess what it's supposed to do next week? Rain every day. I told you. I told you. Very strange phenomenon. I think we should go to the fallout shelter. There's water falling from the sky. We have not had any rain. Over 50 days, one little shower I think, but nothing to speak of. Now we're supposed to get a week's worth. Right after I'm almost done. Alright, had Ricky Jr. come over because I couldn't figure this out. We have light in the front. The trolling motor's unplugged, the trolling motor works, everything's, I gotta tape up one joint, that's it. One wire joint. And let's see, he also wired up the onboard charger for me. That's just connected to one battery right now, the trolling motor battery. He had to go back to his shop. He's got some stuff working on in there. And another day or two or later on, there's a way to hook both batteries to that. And he knows how to do it, so he said he'd come back and do that. That's a handy gizmo to have, especially when you're on the road. You don't have to carry a battery charger with you. Just an extension cord. And let's see. Next up, I've got to make straps to hold the batteries in. They actually go back up in there. And there's markers, tie downs for them. There is not a lot of light out here. My lights quit working. And it's cloudy. But then I have to put the cover piece here. And redo these. I got a new grommet for there. Y'all gonna enjoy the grommet that I got for this. There's the old one. It's all tore up. I was gonna tape it up with electrical tape, but I got something else. It's way cooler. And let's see. Tiller handle. Still got to do that. But let me carry on while I've got a head of steam going here. I still don't feel good, but by cracky, I feel better when I'm on the water. I'll tell you that much. Alright, end of Saturday. It's been a long day. Let me show you what I've got accomplished. Battery charger's in. Trolling motor battery is already charged. I plugged it in, let it go through the cycle, and it charged just fine. Cranking battery, we'll hook that in line with that later. For right now, the only thing on the cranking battery is the engine. And I probably won't put anything else on it. Maybe a couple of floor lights, and maybe not. Because if my trolling motor dies, battery dies, the main thing is being able to crank the engine without having to pull the cowling and put the rope on it. Which this is old enough to where it's got an old pull rope style, but it does work. I have done it. Alright, I got all the wires tidied up in the fuse panel. All that's done. I got my little light here installed. I've got this big one in here now because it's dark. But yeah, that one works. And let's see, I think I already showed you the... I've got to redo this one. No big deal. That's the trolling motor's all wired up, ready to go. I just got to mount the hot foot right there somewhere. We got light. The other light like this is going back here. Probably right there. Or over here on this edge. Because there are times at night on the river, I may have said this before too, but where you need light in the back or on the back side of the boat. Now, got something interesting. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this, and I'm going to finish it tomorrow. I just want to put it on the end of Saturday. Right here, grommet. Alright, that one's all tore up. Grommets cost a lot of money online because I looked at them. Can you say toilet flapper? And we get rid of that. And let's see, I didn't bring my scissors out. Yeah, we can use this. I'm going to cut this flap off of here like that. I'm going to cut this off. Cut that off. Alright, got a hole in here already. Okay, we're going to go right here. Cut us an X, cut us a hole in it. Voila, we have a grommet for the very, very low price of $2.49 at the local hardware. Now this is the throttle control. I'm going to come up through here. Knock myself in the head. transmission control. Let's see. I hope y'all can see this. I know it's dark out here, but we had 37 inches, 37 feet. No, 37 drops of rain. Y'all can tell I don't feel good still. And that's all. But the big front is supposed to be coming through tonight. So we'll see. We really need some rain. Alright, there's that. Let's see, there's the transducer for the fish finder. Depth finder, whatever you want to call it. We'll run that through. Now, the only thing that's not going to go through there is the wiring harness for the engine, because I'm not going to unwire that whole thing to do this. I think I can figure out something else. Let's see, let's get the camera, you can see it. I'm going to cut a little slot right here and fit down over it. And then I'm going to drill some holes, put some screws in there, stainless screws, and silicone the you-know-what out of it. When I get everything set, I'll put some silicone in here. That way when I slow down or take a wave, water won't come in and pour down in that hole. Got to think outside the box. Everything don't have to come from the marine supply store. Now this is the piece that was left over from that grommet. 30 years from now, the boys will be digging through the shed trying to get rid of stuff and wonder why I kept that. But might need it for something. Alright, that's going to do it for Saturday. I am wore out. I've got to pick these tools up, take them in, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the final buttoning up of the inside for the most part. Still got a few more things to do. And I've got to do some adjusting on the trailer. Should not be that bad. Famous last words. Shouldn't be that bad. But we'll see. I'll keep that too. Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Alrighty, it is the wee hours of the morning. Light works. And I can move it around like that. Pretty cool, huh? Alrighty, ain't that a peach? Got my tiller handle fixed. I need just a little more extension to go full range that way. And I kept noticing it's loose. It wiggles too much. What do we have right here? A crack. I have to contemplate on whether I can try to patch that or do something else. This is not steel, this is aluminum something. Because if that breaks going down the river or across the bay, that is not good at all. So I may be able to run a screw through here to hold it. I've got some self-tappers, some big ones, maybe they'll work. All I can do is try it. If it don't work, I'll just have to take it off and figure out what I'm going to do next. doggone it, get almost done and have a problem every time. Alright, I got a screw in there, and I also got some 3 ton epoxy worked down in that little crack, and it's good and tight, so I'm going to let that dry. Then I'm going to tape it real heavy, just like I did here. I've done that lots of times. Tape works great as long as it goes on right, and it's quality tape, not Harbor Freight tape, which has its uses too, but not this. Alright, we'll just have to try that and keep moving forward. I'm getting to the irritation point now, so. Hey, got some buttoning up done this morning. Still got to cut the cover board for here, which is sitting over there, but I didn't want to cut too early on the crank the table saw up and wake Mama up at the house. So, alright, work on this next. Then we've got to work on this trailer. I think the boat can go in the water like it is once I get that taped up. Well, I got to get the controls hooked up. That's just a few minutes of stuff. So this controls trailer. Almost there. Almost there. Sing it with me. Alright, let me show you the next thing I got going on before I start adjusting the trailer. I'm going to put my uprights for my trailer lights to go on. And it'll be post guides also. Now there'll be a piece of PVC pipe slips over this whole piece of galvanized material here, whatever it is. Now when I cut it and bend it, this joint's going to be a little weak. So I'm making me a couple of brackets. This is flat, some of that flat aluminum I had left over. I'm going to drill them and screw them to there on either side, and that should stouten it up a good bit. And the reason I like these, one thing, especially at night, it gives you a way to guide the boat in up on the trailer, and it keeps your tail lights, your lights up out of the water. And I just like it. And I did break down and buy new tail lights. Got the new LEDs. Those my old ones they're both mismatched. They worked, but they had the old style 1157 bulbs. So they're inside there. But I'm gonna finish up these, and we'll see what it looks like in a little bit. Then I've got to adjust this back end, which is going to be fun if I can find somebody to get out here and help me. Now this is going to do it for part one. I'm going to make this 2 parts because it's going to run way longer than y'all want to watch one video. So I'll see you on part 2.